Here are some things you may or may not know about the movie Holes. Anybody else remember Stanley Yelnats? I love this movie. What are we looking at? The 2003 movie was directed by Andrew Davis, who also directed The Fugitive and Under Siege, and is based on the novel of the same name by Louis Satcher. The author was very involved in the movie and really tried to keep it as close as he could to the source material. He also makes a cameo in the film. Filming wasn't the most pleasant. Even though it's supposed to take place in Texas, it was mostly filmed in California. It's set in the desert, so they went to the desert. And it was extremely hot. The young actors had to go through a month-long boot camp just to prepare them to, dig holes in the desert. Speaking of holes, the production team had to dig about 400 of them. And then with CGI, it made it look like it was more like 10,000. Cast and crew had to deal with sandstorms and rattlesnakes and scorpions and these guys. Except those are just very harmless bearded dragon lizards with yellow dots painted on them. Mr. Shia LaBeouf was injured one day on set. He was hit in the head with a rock thrown by another actor who was trying to hit it on a mark. Even though he was wearing a helmet, it did some damage, and he had to get stitches. Cleo Thomas, who played Zero, had to deal with a heat rash, and unfortunately for him, it was on the inside of both of his legs, so filming this scene was quite literally torture. And being in the desert in California, you're gonna encounter rattlesnakes. They kept finding them in places where the cast and crew were, so they had to shut down for several days just to deal with the snakes. Hey, it's not the snakes' fault, we were in their territory. I actually went to high school with Twitch, and when Noah came back to school, we were all very, very excited for him. I can fix that. I had such a crush on him. And, their storyline is so sad. Speaking of Kissin' Kate Barlow, you can actually make that peach recipe, or sploosh, as Zero likes to call it. This, however, is not peaches. It's actually applesauce and molasses, and those are actually graham crackers on the outside of that, not dirt. Movie magic. Oh, and the onions are actually apples wrapped in rice paper dyed with beet juice. The more you know. I was the idiot kid who saw this and thought, oh, all onions must be like this, and grabbed one out of the fridge and had a very rude awakening. Sigourney Weaver wanted to be in this film because Holes was one of her daughter's favorite books. Also, she'll never not be a total babe in my book. It took the makeup team about an hour to turn Jon Voight into this. And they glued on all of his mustache hairs one at a time. All the boys had makeup on too. They had to look tan or sunburned and dirty and dusty. I love that all the boys sang the theme song, Dig. And they even helped write the lyrics. What's your favorite part? Tell me in the comments. Like and follow for more.